This is the GodisaGeek podcast, AE3 Day 2, live from LA, brought to you by Gfinity and their Tournament Builder app for the Xbox One. Hello everybody, and welcome to, once again, yet another GodisaGeek podcast live from LA. Today has been day 2 of E3, and me, Dan Murphy, and my lovely partner here, Mike Stubbsy, are both feeling the fucking war wounds today, aren't we, Mike?
Aye.
Thanks for that in-depth detail and just how tired you are. I guess the lack of words tells the story.
You asked a question that I needed a one-word answer.
That you did. We played a lot today, Stubbsy, didn't we not?
We saw a lot today.
Oh yeah,
Didn't
I
play
guess.
that much.
I played quite a fair bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
We were rammed to the wall with appointments, and the day started, for you at least, by not seeing games at all, really, by seeing audio stuff with LucidSound.
Yeah, we reviewed one of their headsets recently. I think Lee did it, and by all accounts it's very good. And so I went to see a couple of their newer products that are coming out. I think they said September. So first off, I saw like the big ass gaming designed like headset. I think it's like $200, and it's like, I think it's the one that you want to get if you want to use it on your console and do shit like that. But the one thing that's really cool about the Lucid headsets is that they intentionally did it like to keep buttons on it at a minimum. And so if you want to, like with this PC, like not PC, the games console one, you can obviously use it as a chat mic and game audio. So on the left ear cup, there's like a kind of a wheel, and if you turn the wheel, it changes like volume, like game volume. And then they've got one on the right, and that changes your mic volume, or the chat in the party volume. So instead of having like a mix amp separately to do all that shit, you literally do it on your ear cups, and then you can press them in to like mute game audio or mute your mic. And that's the same on sort of across their line. So like even on the cheaper sort of mobile thing, you can change the volume by twisting. So yeah, they were really cool. Like they also showed me this sort of smaller, lighter one. That you can like is more designed to be on the move and sort of kind of travel. And so I really like that. That like they reckon that's going to retail for like 80 quid, 85 quid in the UK. So I might pick one of them up because like I've never really been a big fan of it, like spending more than 20 quid on audio stuff. But these, like I tried one of them. I just whacked on my Spotify playlist, and it sounded much better than what I currently have. And they were comfy as well, so it was good start.
Easy start, I'd say. Just listening to stuff, chilling.
Well, it wasn't just listening to stuff because I had to play Call of Duty. So, but I'm a boss at Call of Duty, so it's fine.
That's alright. While you were sudding it up with headphones and stuff, I had to go and play Resident Evil 7 demo thing, whatever it is. Played it on PlayStation VR, I want to say.
Well, it's like, was it white?
Yeah, it was. I can't remember. Yeah, because he put it on my head, so I can't remember. Because can't remember the system, but it was PlayStation VR. And basically, what this demo is basically PT for Resident Evil. It's not going to be representative of the final game. It's a tonal fucking demonstration or whatever they want to do, just to get the tone and
so
the
you didn't
atmosphere.
play the actual game?
It was the stuff it was the stuff they showed on. Like the conference.
Right,
like,
so that isn't the game?
That's not what the game is. It's like, it feels like literally just what PT is for what Silent Hills would have been. It's like a scary thing. Right,
so what they showed at the conference isn't Resident Evil, it was...
I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm sure I've read like I asked them like what is it, and I think they're saying like this is just to demonstrate what the tone and the environment is going to be like in that Resident Evil. Yeah, well I asked if the actual Resident Evil is going to be first person like this, and I think they said yes, but it was a bit of a weird answer and it was weird. I'll tell you something actually though, You know when you laughed at me and I said, I wonder if it's like a haunted house inside, and you was like, no, it wasn't, there's just loads of stations. It was like a haunted house inside. It just had little rooms with like, and then you went inside, it was like creepy chair that you had to sit down on and play it. But yeah, so you're in this house, and you have to get out, and you have to walk about, and it's just really creepy. There's fucking hanging dolls, there's dead babies falling off a fucking roof. It's really creepy, really fucking grim. I was shitting my pants all the way around it. And there's a bit eventually where you get a videotape, and then you put the videotape on this weird telly, and then it's a video of a cameraman who'd come in with a dickhead, and then a producer who did a haunted house TV show type thing, where they go into houses and record themselves being dickheads and whatnot. And of course the video, things go awry. One of the guys they go into a creepy basement, and what's cool actually, you control, when it goes into the video, so you're in control of the camera. So you walk through the house, the guy suddenly goes missing, it goes a bit weird, and then a secret door appears, you go through it, you go down a really creepy ladder, and the guy makes you go down first, which I didn't enjoy. The missing guy's there, you drag him away, and he's a zombie, dead, untyped type thing, and then you get killed. It's pretty fucking grim. So then, obviously, you know there's a secret compartment, the secret door there in real time, so you go and do that. And I went straight away, and once you go through the door, just before you go down the ladder, there was a back door key, and I was like, right, sweet, that's the way out, I'm going. And as I turned around, a big fucking scary dude walked past the door, and that was the scare I got. Apparently I got scare of the day, which was quite annoying. Then I just went straight at the door, there was some weird thing that grabbed me as I walked out, and that was that. Apparently, because I was a scary pussy, there's other ways it could have done, so I could have gone down the ladder and had a grim end, or I could have gone upstairs, and that's when the mannequin thing was out of the trailer was going to be, and apparently that's scary. So, but I was having none of that, I just got out. It was quite intense, and I'd hope I was like, there's loads of endings, so if you play it again, you can experience it. I was like, mate, this is never, ever getting played again.
Should have played it normal.
Absolutely fucking not.
The only way you're going to get over your fear is by...
I don't want to get over my fear, I'm fine with that, it's just not. I'm never going to be in a situation where I'm in a fucking grim, danky horror house. That's real horror house, so I don't need to get over that fear. It's never going to affect me unless it's a video game.
See, I find it weird that, like, I get not liking horror, but, like, that, I kind of wouldn't... Because you know the only scares that are going to come at you are either going to be jump scares, which you can kind of prep yourself for, or atmospheric stuff.
It's not the jump scares that jump scares will scare me, but it's not the jump scares I'm like kind of that scared of. It's the fucking build up to jump scares that just fucking I can't deal with. I can't deal with that tension and the fucking.
That's like the best bit.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's the best bit of horror games, and that's when you know they're doing the job. It's just I can't fucking deal with it. Like fucking Slenderman. I fell from a chair once playing Slenderman when it got me.
You just gotta like psych yourself up for it.
Yeah, just
gotta get in the zone.
But it was certainly interesting. It was the longest I spent in VR, and I felt a wee bit nauseated after.
How long was you in there for?
I want to say maybe 15 minutes or so.
Right.
And it was like it was easily my longest prolonged amount of time in there, and I did feel a bit nauseated after because the guy moved quite fast, which was in contrast to the last thing I played yesterday, which was quite slow. And it is a weird one. Like, I've still not managed to get it for me in place. I wonder if my eyes are fucked with VR or something because I can't get it sharp.
Yeah, that is a problem. That like some headsets it just doesn't work. Like you can't get it properly, and others, with VR you have to do it a few times before you realise that it isn't as high quality as you quite expect it to be.
Not. The best one VR I got actually was the one I used in Ubisoft today. What was that? Gear?
Oh, fucking Gear VR.
That was genuinely and obviously it wasn't a photorealistic thing, it was a cartoony thing, but that was the best like fidelity I could tell anyway so far. When I played PSVR, I think I did Oculus Rift.
Did you do on the PSVR, or at least the model that I played a few months ago, there's a little like slider, I think it's underneath where you can change it. Yeah. That like worked really well for me. Okay. Finding the perfect sort of thing. But.
I just couldn't get it, and I just wanted to get the thing over and done with, so more my fault. It's not slagging off the game because of it, because the knowledge, and it's just an experience for me. But, you know, if you like horror, the demo's out there on PS Plus. We have the guys at Recon have done video impressions out on YouTube. I'm sure you could play it and go and do better than me, but it's fucking scary, so not for me, unfortunately. Speaking of VR, we both went and saw Devolver today, which was always fun. You played or saw Absolver and Straff. What's Absolver? Because I've heard it's good, but I've never seen it, so I don't know what it is.
It's weird as fuck. I don't really know what it is myself, to be honest. And I played it for fucking 30 minutes. It felt like a very much proof of concept what I played. It didn't feel like a final game. It's kind of like a martial arty MMO / adventure type thing. It's a third person perspective, like kind of cool art style. And it started off with me and like my co-op partner, who was a developer, and was walking through, sort of doing a mini tutorial where like it teaches you the basics of combat. And it's kind of like combo based, so it's similar to the Batman style of combat, but it's slower. And instead of just button mashing like you can in Batman and do quite well, like you can still do that, but you'll probably do a bit shit. The idea is that there's a little, like to teach you how to do it, there's a little bar, like you've got your health in the top left and stamina in the top left, and then below that, whenever you press the attack button, like a white bar goes across the screen, kind of like a quick timer. And you know, like active reload in Gears of War, where the thing goes across, and then if you hit the button in the select, like the highlighted bit, it does it quickly. It's kind of like active reload, but for your next move. Okay. So, say I press square to swing a punch, it will start the thing moving across. If I then press square again as it's in the highlighted area, your next attack is like a comboed attack.
Okay. But if you don't press it in the area, the line starts again, I take it?
Yeah, kind of like you still do an attack, but it's not part of the combo, it's slower. But what's quite cool is that you build your fighting deck. So, for the purpose of the demo, like each... there's a thing called stances, which I'll get to in a bit, but each sort of stance had 4 cards, or 4 moves I could choose from. So, for the standard attacks and heavy attacks, you have 3 standard attacks, 1 heavy attack. My standard attack started out with like left jab, right jab, and then fucking quick punch or some shit. And then I changed it, so it's like a jab, like haymaker, big swing type thing, and then a kick. And you can change, and like different moves have different properties. So like one of them, the kick had a break property, so that can like break an opponent's guard because you can block attacks and shit. It's really, really, really complicated. It's got a lot of similarities to like a fighting game, like sort of Street Fighter, because you can parry attacks and block attacks. But unlike after I got the basics down, we went into like PvP where I 1v1'd the dev, which like if you show a game, never a good idea. Like never 1v1 a dev because you'll just get absolutely wrecked. Yeah. Well, I didn't do that badly. Like he complimented me. He was like, "Oh man, you're a really good defensive fighter. Like you're blocking all my shit." And he was just like, "Oh, do you play fighting games?" I was like, "No, not at all." And shit. And he was just like, "Oh, that surprises me." But yeah, like I'm not entirely sure what the actual game is, whether it's single player or if it's PvP or if it's both. Because it seems weird that they would do a PvP demo, but like they were primarily showing off the combat thing.
Okay, what's like the environment like, and what's it look like?
There's just not like it's an environment, but I think it was very much placeholder.
I mean, like what's like the aesthetic of like, anything like enemies or your own characters and stuff? I'm trying to like get a picture of it.
They're just like people.
Yeah.
It's like I think all that was very much placeholder and not fun. I think the demo was very much to show off their combat system because that's
sounds good.
But like the stances thing, this is quite difficult to get your head around. And I only just understood it by the time I finished, but each move has a different stance. So there's like, it's basically a like diamond shape, and it's split into quarters. So it's like up right, up left, down right, down left. And each move will start in a stance and end in a stance. So certain moves like start and end in the same stance. whereas one will say start in upper right and then end with you in lower right. And this is where you build your combos. So if I wanted to have if I wanted to include a move, I think anyway, if I included a move that say ended in bottom left, and then directly after that I wanted to do a move that started in top right, because they're not next to it, like because it's not starting in the same place, I couldn't do it. So you can make like these combos that sort of allow you to do spins and like roundhouses because each stance is like a different position, like kind of like when you're MMA fighting or boxing or shit, you've got like southpaw and stuff like that. It's kind of like that. It's really complex.
It does sound complex, yeah.
It
sounds interesting.
It took a fucking long time to get my head around it. But once I did it was fun enough. And then like it was all hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
And then literally 20 seconds before old mate came in and said time's over, he was like, oh, we've got swords in it as well. I was just like, right, okay. And then like I hit him once with a sword as he was explaining to me that it's time to go. So fuck knows how that works.
It sounds interesting. I've heard good things about it. Like I hadn't heard of it until like today, pretty much. But everyone who's played it on the old Twitter seems to like it a lot.
It's interesting, but it feels very early.
Okay. And you also saw something for Straff, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Straff isn't a real word when it is, but
no, it is. It's kind of like
a 90 shooter. I read on their side.
Yeah, kind of. Imagine Doom, but remade for today. But still looks like shitty Doom. It's a super fast-paced kind of shooter, and there was a few things they sort of asked me not to talk about because they showed it, but they didn't want to go into detail in previews and shit, so people couldn't see the surprise. But it's basically a fast-paced shooter with roguelike elements. So each level has a different seed, and like you spawn into a random seed, and so no level is like really the same, and you pick one of 3 guns, like a shotgun, a railgun, and what was the other one? Probably just a normal ass machine gun. You pick one of those at the start of your run, and then you've got to play with that until you end it. Obviously, if you die, you're done. You've got to start again. And there's 4 areas, each with 3 missions, I think.
Okay.
They reckoned that like completing it start to finish will be about an hour to an hour and a half.
Oh.
But obviously, like you've got to be pretty fucking good to do that. Although they did say like it's a proper roguelike in that if you're just fucking good at first-person shooters, you could quite easily complete this the first time you play it.
Okay.
One of the cool things about it is that there's a lot of like blood and gore, and it's all persistent. So if you're an enemy and I shot you and you like explode, then your blood is going to splatter all over that hallway, and it's going to stay there until you exit that level. So if I come back to an area, like if I get lost and I come to an area and see that it's got like fuck tons of blood everywhere, then I know that I've already been there.
Yeah, okay.
So you kind of want to follow the clear pathways.
Okay.
And there's a certain enemy type that's like an acid thing where they basically like shit out acid, and that's also persistent, so that stays on the ground, and if you walk across that you take damage. But if like an acid enemy shits acid on the floor and then you kill something and like blood then goes on top of the acid, that's safe to walk over because the blood covers it, so you can then walk over it. So if you get into a situation where like an acid enemy kind of shits you over and blocks the pathway that you want to go down, you just got to like kite some other enemies into the area and make sure you kill them on top of the acid to make it safe to walk across. That was a pretty neat feature. So yeah, it's interesting. It's like peak Devolver. It's probably the most Devolver game I've ever seen.
Yeah. So you played those 2. Oh, saw one. Played one when was it Devolver? I played Serious Sam VR, which was not very good. It reminded me of like some sort of like early 2000s arcade game where you have your gun, that you pick up the plastic gun, have to shoot things and have to shoot the things that the things are firing at you. And I must admit there was a bit where loads of little tiny spider crab things came at my feet, and I was like, in real life I was literally like I couldn't stop myself from picking my feet up as if to like get away from them. So that was pretty cool. But apart from that, like I think I was using the Oculus and then whatever their controller things are, and they didn't feel very accurate at all. I was like pointing at the fuckers and they just weren't dying.
Oh, were you using Oculus Touch?
I think so. I was using a headset with them the controllers that wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Vive. So.
What were the controls like? Were they like circles that you put your hand
Yeah.
in? Yeah, Oculus Touch, right?
Yeah. They didn't feel very accurate. I was like pointing at the enemies and they just weren't dying. It was taking ages. And again, it just felt. I feel like VR should be used for more than just this. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's all right and it's fun. But I feel like VR can be more than this. It can lead to new experiences rather than ones that feel dated. And then played Shadow Warrior 2, and I got a good half an hour or so on that. I played like a co-op mission with three other people, or two other people who was in with me. It's really bloody good. So yeah, if I start, it's co-op now. I'm not sure if the first one was, but it's really cool. I never got the chance to play the first one, even though I really wanted to, and I need to at some point. But this is basically, they were telling me how the first one was basically a very corridor shooter, very like linear. So with this, they've opened it a lot more. You can explore in different areas if you want. You're free to go where you want in certain. I get the impression it's like small maps where missions are in, which you can explore, and there'll be a lot of them. And it's really cool. There's a fucking shit ton of weapons. There's swords, there's chainsaws, which tell you that melee stuff, which is very satisfying. And there's a whole range of guns, shotguns, machine guns, grenade launchers, weird guns that give acid attacks. You know, your machine guns, your pistols, all that type of stuff. It's all really fun. There's like new abilities where you can impale enemies with spikes to keep them up in the air and slash them to bits. There was like dash abilities, double jump, so a lot of the mobility is cool. You can climb up stuff quite easily. And a cool thing I thought was like if you rush off, like I was better than the guys, which is saying something. I was better than the other guys I was playing with, and I just dashed off killing everything. But when we got to the objective point, I couldn't go on my own. I had to go back, and then so with a press of holding a button down, I could teleport back to where they were and then get them with us. This is really cool. It was running. I want to say it was running at 60, and they were saying that I'm pretty sure they wanted to try and get it for 200 at some points on the high end of this. Oh, sorry, so I guess it's going to be unlocked or whatever. It runs really nice. It was really fucking bloody and gory and fun. Apparently there's these like rabbits. I've had like a trend in E3 where if I've seen a rabbit, I've ended up killing it. Did it in Horizon. I did it in this, and then the developer told me that if you kill, there's like a 1 in 10 chance if you killing the rabbits, the bunny lord will then spawn out of nowhere and attack you. And apparently he's not very easy to kill. And I was determined to try and find him, but alas, he did not appear. And it just seems really fun. It's co-op with 4 players, just fun, not too serious, just slashing and shooting. So pretty good. Oh bloody hell! I saw a ukulele after Devolver actually, and had some good interviews with, I want to say, Andy Robinson, who is the writer at Platonic, and also Grant, whose name escapes me, who is a composer on ukulele and did all the Rare games up to like 2008, and I've got like half of
all the Rare games, every single.
Oh wow, no, he did GoldenEye, the Banjo-Kazooies, the Pinata, all the ones you care about.
I hope she just did the entire interview about Viva Pinata.
Did not, unfortunately. But talked to both of them about a lot. They were very interesting, and I'll try and get that up on the site at some point. But ukulele, the Andy who did the demo with me, it was hands off, so I was just watching him play it. It's a bit annoying. I just wanted to get in there myself because it looks really, really good. And he was telling me that they wanted to innovate in 3 ways. So there's loads of collectibles still. There's like pages, there's quills, there's loads of different stuff. But apparently now it all has meanings. So they were telling me like, you collect these things in. So there's a hub world, and then there's gates in these hub worlds which lead to other worlds. And so there's the world you were showing me for the demos, the jungle world. And to unlock these worlds, there's 200 pages in each world. And then
are these like easy to locate.
These ones were the pages were like just on the path, and then there'll be
Right, I
some
was gonna say, like,
some easy to get, then there's some harder to reach. But that's what I'm saying.
I was gonna say, if there's 200 and they're fucking
Yeah,
hidden.
but they're really big. The worlds.
Right.
So you get these pages, and then they unlock new worlds. But then you can also, if you want to, so let's say you like a world, you can then choose to spend the pages on expanding that world. So it'll make it bigger with loads of new areas and loads of new like challenges and things to do. So they said they wanted to expand all the collectible stuff, and then there's another. There was what was it called? There was, I think it might have been quills, which is the currency, which you can then use to buy new moves from Trouser, which is a snake, making the salesman a snake. It's quite funny. So you can buy the moves by spending that, and then there's another one called Vendy, who's a woman as a vending machine, and these collectibles are like plays. I think it's literally Platonic's logo. You collect those, and then they give you modifiers, I want to say, which will change the game in some way. And then there was one conspicuously called 64-bit, and I asked him if that is, does it put the game into 64-bit, and he was like, everyone asks that, and we're not telling you, it's a secret. So I'm guessing it puts the game into 64-bit, and you can play it as you want. So there's loads of collectibles, but it seems like they were saying that they wanted them to have a purpose and not just collect them for collector's sake. Then there was player choice, so he was saying to me that player choice has been an important thing in games in the last 10 years or so, and they wanted to do it here, so you can choose to expand the world, and then what is it? So if you choose to buy an ability or whatever, that ability can get you to an open, let's say, another platform, which gets you to a whole new area, which unlocks new stuff and discovery and stuff like that. And you don't get to see all that if you choose not to spend your money on that ability. So it all seems really good. And the last one was exploration. Like all the things they wanted to innovate on, all that linked together. So the other one was exploration. This world showing there was loads to it. It looked really good. Honestly, like I said, there was a lot of information to process. It was about half an hour for the interview, so I'm hopefully going to try. Once the hecticness of E3 has died down, I'll try and process it all and get it up in something a bit more digestible. But Ukulele's looking really nice, really cool, and they were telling me that they've delayed it to 2017 just to polish it because they wanted for it to be perfect and all that type of stuff. So it's looking pretty good. I'm excited. Oh man, what else did you play? You played Lego Dimensions. Well, we both did, but you can talk for a bit now.
Yeah, like Lego Dimensions has got a fuck ton of new characters going.
It does.
I saw like they did a hands-off presentation.
Oh yeah.
And he basically started it off like sort of, we're bringing in loads of new like franchises into the Lego Dimensions thing. Here's like a mini montage of them all, and it was literally just flashing the brand's logo on screen for about 2 seconds, and that must have taken at least a minute and a half just to get through them all.
Jesus.
And then he was like, and then he brought up a screen with like images of all of them, and like it was on screen for a good 30 seconds, and I didn't actually register them all.
Any highlights? What are you saying?
Sonic's there. More Harry Potter shit. More Doctor Who. Powerpuff Girls, I think I saw.
Oh, that's cool.
Adventure Time.
Yeah, we played as Jake the Human, didn't we? Or Finn the Human.
Gremlins. New Ghostbusters. There was loads. There was Teen Titans, I think is the kids show. There's so much shit that I just can't remember. And so like they brought in a fuck ton of new things, but kind of one of the main ones that they wanted to show off was the new Ghostbusters. It's based on the new female Ghostbusters film, and there's apparently 6 missions that tell the entire story of the movie.
Okay.
In the Lego sort of world, and we played one of them, and it's kind of just sort of standard Lego fare with a Ghostbusters twist. But what's kind of cool about Lego Dimensions is, and even between like phase 1 and phase 2, so last year's stuff and this year's stuff, any character can play in any level. So like we did the Ghostbusters level, and we had the female Ghostbusters, but we fucking had like a Gremlin and
Finn the Human.
Yeah, so they were just all randomly with us. The one thing that I didn't like about that Ghostbusters level was
it's the same as me.
that the Ghostbusters themselves, like, there's no real reason to have anyone other than the Ghostbusters there, and there's certain points in the level where only one of the, like, we played 2-player co-op, there was a lot of points where only one of the Ghostbusters can do the thing. So, like, the final boss battle was literally the one Ghostbuster woman had to do all of it, which you was playing, and so I just...
She did everything in that, I thought, everything.
Well, not quite everything. Like,
it was her or the blonde one, pretty much.
Yeah, and the other one was the smart one who had to do a few things. So they each have their own thing, but the final boss battle was all the one that you were playing. So I literally couldn't do anything useful. No. So I just fucking got in the car and started doing donuts.
It's a shame you didn't get the Harry Potter car, because that's fucking fun. That fly's just like so satisfying. So I was like, oh, damn, it's good. Yeah. So we both played it in co-op. I thought the stuff with the pad was cool. So basically there's a bit where...
Yeah, that's always been known, but that's not...
I feel like... No, I was going to say that I feel like it's a bit...
Shit?
Yeah. It feels just like this kid's like, oh, it just... I don't know. It's just a bit convoluted, isn't it? It just feels like the easiest way to stop us... Like, they're putting so much effort to stop us from getting into this fucking room. But, who knows? It was alright, I suppose. I imagine the kiddies love it and whatnot. Oh, what else was there? Oh, I played a game that I actually quite liked a lot, but while I was waiting for my demo with the ukulele, played a game called Overcooked, which I had never heard of until now, but you seemingly did. It's really cool, isn't it? It's cute and fun.
I want to say I played this at either Insomnia or Rezzed, one of the two. It's like one of the things that demos really well at stuff like that, because you sort of... You
have someone to play with.
Yeah, did you play... I'm guessing you played with other people.
Yeah, I played with the dev.
Yeah, just like, especially, I'm sure it was Rezzed. Like, it's kind of a game that you can just sort of play with randoms.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
It is, for the listeners. Basically you're working in a kitchen and you have to complete orders. So basically the first mission's very easy. You have to make onion soup. So you get onion, you chop onion, you put onion in bowl, you do that 3 times. Once it's cooked, you put soup in bowl and then serve. But you can only carry one thing at a time, and it's like you have to time it well and work as a team to get it all done quickly and get it done within a certain amount of time and do everything correctly. And then later on, so harder mission. So the next mission is I'm on a ship, and you have to prepare different orders, 3 different ingredients instead of just onions. And because you're on a ship, occasionally like the desks or whatever, the tabletops will move, and then you have to switch positions. So it's always keeping you on your toes. It's all about teamwork and coordination, and it's just a lot of fun. I thought it's just pretty nice, light-hearted fun. Hopefully, gonna give it a bit more coverage on the site. 'Cause I think it's a game that deserves a little bit of a look. Son, what did you say?
Yeah,
You're so harsh.
I mean, there's more important things to do.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck about the important things? Give the little guy a go.
The little guy doesn't get hits.
Who gives a fuck? Not me. Well, shall we talk about the big guy really quickly and just rattle through all the stuff we played at Ubisoft quickly before we write about it?
I played For Honor, Ghost Recon, you saw South Park, you did a Just Dance thing, you played Steep.
That was it.
Is that it?
Yep. So, For Honor, we both played For Honor. It's really fucking good, I thought.
I didn't like it as much as I liked it last year, but I think that was because it was easier, because last year was a multiplayer demo, and this year was single player, so playing against actual humans who have the ability to think and play tactically is a lot harder than AI who I figured out their movements pretty quickly. Like,
especially at the beginning, it's all very slow, they very telegraphed the moves.
Even in that final fight, which is like meant to be the hardest part of it, you can figure out, because what usually happens is if he blocks you from right, then 9 times out of 10 he will try and counter attack you from left, and like he didn't seem to go up at all, or very rarely. And then you could also, like, providing you match your stance against his attacks were quite slow, so you would usually have time, if you saw his animation starting, to put a counter attack in when he was vulnerable. So I was quite disappointed because when you're playing against an actual human, obviously it was slightly faster pace, and you don't pick up the people have the ways that they play, but you don't pick up on the little nuances that were quite obvious against this AI. So still good. I still really like the combat system, but I found it a little bit disappointing.
Okay. When you did it in multiplayer, did it not have the the little circle which tells you what stance it is? Did it still have that for your enemy as well, telling you explicitly?
Yeah.
See, I really liked it. It was the first time I played it. I did like this fight system a lot, but I think it'd be better without that circle, and you have to look.
I think it's too difficult. Do
you think?
Yeah.
I think it's. I'd like to see it without the wheel.
I think that becomes, especially when attacks happen, like if he's mid animation and you need to block, I feel like they're slightly too similar to be able to clearly show that. Maybe. And if you make the animations any more obvious, then the animations have to become larger, slower.
I think they could do it so you still have the red line when they're about to attack. I think that could do, but I'd like to not know where the attack's coming from. So it's like to watch it if you get me.
The idea behind knowing where it is kind of mind games. I think.
Maybe.
I think if you get rid of that, then it creates a level that's too deep for mind games.
Okay, fair enough. I just didn't know if that was just for the demo or not, and it was the easiest thing.
No, that was definitely there last year.
Okay, I was interested because I did wonder if you could play it with just keeping an eye on what the enemy's movements. But I did like it. I thought the mission. It seems like there's a single player, and there's gonna be characters for each of the three factions, I guess. Since this was a night v night thing, I thought it was pretty brutal and kind of realistic for medieval kind of stuff. You had the little fucking foot soldiers were easy to kill. You could just smash them all away. But the knights you have to actually engage with in proper battles. It looked really cool. The music and all the sound effects were quality and all that type of stuff. Ghost Recon.
Bit shit, wasn't
it? It looked shit. I must say, really bad. I don't know when this is it this year?
Fuck knows.
Whenever it is, it didn't look very well at all. I like the idea of it. I feel like it would be fun, but it looks shit. And
it's one of them games that is a show for demo game.
Exactly.
When you're playing with arguably a bit of an arsehole, but who knows what they're doing, and you're actually in a team with people then who are on the same page and sort of are being guided, then it looks alright, but I worry that in single player it'll be a bit bollocks, and that unless you've got a core group of actual people who are playing it, it'll be a bit underwhelming.
It's interesting how we caught up after we played it, and we both said that we were just both hung back and just sniped all of the snipers and soldiers from afar, which everyone else just seemed to steam in and not really care for tactical stuff. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing really. I think it could be good with friends and a good group, but otherwise it's just. And I thought the driving. I got in the car. The motorbike wasn't too bad, but the driving in the car was shite.
I actually thought the car was better than the motorbike.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't like the motorbike at all. Okay. Didn't get on with it. But yeah, the shooting I actually quite like the sniping itself.
I
thought it was really good. It had sort of an impact to it that not many snipers.
The assault rifle wasn't the best.
Didn't use it at all.
The assault rifle wasn't the best because I did get in a couple of situations where I had to use it because none of my I did all the stuff, but then none of my team were actually going in for the objectives. So I'm like, fine, fuck it, I'll do it, and then I got it. The assault rifle, it's alright, don't wrong, but it's not the best. But yeah, I think a lot of work needs to go into that, especially appearance-wise, really. But I think it's an interesting idea, and it could work in the right circumstances. What else was there? Steep I like a lot.
Yeah, it's weird. I think I kind of don't really see why parachuting and wingsuiting is in there. I think it would be perfectly serviceable with just skiing and snowboarding. Yeah. Kind of creates that extra dimension that I kind of don't really know if I want.
Yeah, but again, it's there if you want it, it's not if you want it. It's not. I think the wingsuit is pretty alright, but it's literally just, you can't really do tricks with that, it's just go through the hoops or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't get why parachuting's there at all. It's parachute at the end of your jump, whatever, but you don't need it. There's no point of just jumping off and parachuting, is it? But the snowboarding and the skiing, I thought the skiing actually, I've never played a skiing game before. I thought the skiing was probably my favourite. It's really good. It looks close up. It doesn't look. Obviously, it's quite. What's that? It's only 20 December, so I guess it should be that far along. But it looks all right. Not a world.
Still needs work. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot still to be done on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, core gameplay wise, it was quite fun. To be fair,
Yeah.
It's not SSX style. It's not crazy. It's a lot more realistic.
Yeah. You can do crazy tricks and stuff, but you will break your neck if you don't get up right straight away.
Yeah. I did find controlling in the air a little bit fiddly. Like trying to get it back to the perfect landing angle didn't always work because for some reason, like your rotation speed seemed to change.
There is a weird.
Yeah, like
with the analog sticks.
Yeah, the speed of your rotation seemed to change the closer you got to the ground.
Okay.
Which was weird. But yeah, it was pretty solid overall.
Yeah, I think my only problem was because it was online or LAN or whatever you want to call it. Every time you start a mission at this point, loads of dickheads spawn at the same time, and I just kept getting pushed. Like I was trying to go down the ramp, and I ended up getting pushed off and stuff like that. I hope there's a way to play it single player because like snowboarding to me is something that you just do solid like, on your own, like just chilling. I feel like it's a type of game that I could see myself as a chill out game playing, just listening to podcasts while I play it, and I don't want to be fucking dealing with other people when I'm sliding down picturesque mountains. And South Park, yeah, I saw a thing of South Park. It looks funny. It looks like South Park. The combat, you can move a bit. It looks fucking funny. Don't have much else to say.
It's more of the same.
Pretty much, and
that's
that's all
not
you
a
really
bad
want.
thing. So
Exactly. Is that all we've got to talk about today?
that is all we've got to talk
Sweet.
about.
Are we going to fuck off and go to bed? Have you
Yeah.
got work? Right. Thank you for listening to everyone. Follow me on Twitter at Rusky. Follow Mike on Twitter at Mike Stubbsy. Follow us on Twitter at GodisaGeek. Go on Facebook.com/GodisaGeek. Go on YouTube.com/GodisaGeek for videos and stuff. Go on GodisaGeek.com for writing on most of the stuff we've talked about today at some point over the next few months. Hopefully, if you're looking.
Check it out.
Fucking content plan, mate. And what else? Patreon. If you'd like to throw us a couple of quid our way for our undying efforts, please go to patreon.com/GodisaGeek. And if there's nothing else to say, it's time to say goodbye, Mike Stubbsy.
No.
It's goodbye from me. C'est la vie.